How long should your workouts be when you're starting out? Your workouts should be as long as they have to, which means not that long. I work out personally for 10 minutes or 12 minutes in this workout, and this workout consists of the fundamentals, which is what I'd recommend to beginners as well. Like you really just want to get good at those, not only as a beginner, but throughout your entire workout journey, you could say. Like forever. You want to practice the basics forever and avoid everything else. Everything I call noise. So all the noise you want to avoid. And focus on the fundamentals, which in this case is chin ups, push ups, and squats. So I believe there's 6 movement patterns you can do with your body, really. Like 6 major movement patterns. You have a horizontal pull, a horizontal push, a vertical pull, and a vertical push, and then you have a squat and a hinge. What I've done is I've just taken 3 of those, what I deem to be the most important, because the horizontal pull and vertical pull train the same muscles more or less. So like pick a chin up or a row. I like the chin up more because, or the pull up, but the chin up even more than the pull up because it targets your arms more. And the latissimus, the lat muscles, which gives you that V-taper look, which is what most people want when they start training. They want that, or most guys, they want that aesthetic V-taper look, right, for the back. So that's the vertical pull you want to do there. And then for the pushing exercise, I mean, you could do the vertical push, but that doesn't train your triceps or chest muscles that much. So instead, you want to do the push-up or the horizontal push, which trains the muscles you train when you do the vertical push, so the shoulders, but also the triceps and the chest, a lot, even more so than any other exercise, I believe. So that's just a way better use of time doing push-ups instead of overhead presses, let's say, because you really only train like your little shoulder muscles, which gets hit on the push-up even. So there's not really any point. So you can also cut that out, in my opinion. And then for the lower body movements, I just do squats, which is probably, if you have to pick one of them, you'd probably pick squats rather than the hinge. So that's like a curl movement, just like with it's the backside of your muscle you're training with a hinge movement. But the backside of your glutes, obviously, but your glutes gets adequately hit on the squat, and your hamstrings, which is the backside of your leg, also work as a stabilizer. I have never ever trained hamstrings in my life. I mean, I don't have massive hamstrings, but who wakes up and wants massive hamstrings anyway? I suppose you want them to be functional, and then you want to train the front side of your leg for aesthetic purposes. So the hinge movement I also just throw out and not do. I've never done them ever. I've only done squat movements, and that's really all you need ever. That's honestly it. I feel like as a gym goer, and again, you don't have to go to the gym. You see me working out at home, which I've done for the past 4 years. I've worked out more at home than I have in the gym. Yeah, so, and I've saved, I don't even know how many, I think it's months at this point. I've saved in time by working out at home. So it's definitely better use of time. You can do the same things, if not better, because I think it's easier to focus at home. But I suppose that's because I'm ADHD, but who knows? So I find it distracting with all the people, and I'm not alone in this, I don't think so. But if you're a beginner, you don't have to go to the gym. You can go to the gym if you want to, but then I start out doing the same thing I'm doing in the background here. Just focus on the fundamentals. And then you want to make sure you do them right, of course. So with the squatting, for example, you want to make sure that you don't get what's called a butt wink, which is where your lower back tilts over because you're not mobile enough to come all the way down deep into the squat. But there's nothing to find there anyway, I don't think so, for most people, going all the way down. Like I go, 100 degrees just below the knees. I think that's perfect. I go so far, I go down to the point where my back starts bending over, as you can see. I maybe go a little too far down actually, but I try to keep my back straight. So yeah, just focus on the basic fundamental exercises and get very, very good at those. And start with body weight. If you can't do them with your own body weight, you can start. You could do, or I mean, if you can't do, let's say, push-ups on your toes, you can do them on your knees, so on and so forth. So if you can't do a squat, you can go down to a box behind you, for example. I mean, most people can do a squat, obviously. But with chin-ups, you can do negative chin-ups. So jump up and hold on negative down. And that's it. Super simple workout. And honestly, if you want to like take for real, a lot of people go to the gym or start training and so on and so forth, and they quit. And if you do that, like, you're screwed. You might not just not have gone in the first place, honestly. It's about consistency. That's the most important thing apart from training, nutrition, and sleep. You have consistency. Because if you do all those three things, but you're not in it for the long run over a long time, you're not going to see any results. So you want to find a program you can stick with consistently for a long time. And you do that by making it as simple as possible, in my case anyway. But I think that's the case for most people. You don't want to overcomplicate things. You really don't want to do that. Then going to the gym stops being fun.